And just talking about a structure for a 20 tap, if you look at, or you get an opportunity to look at, probably a third of the teams that are, remember I've got to talk about escort, a third of the teams that are defending at the moment from a tap, if you defend where we normally set up, which would go, here's the tap, it's tap, let's have a winger, centre, half, second row, maybe lock, prop, hooker, prop. Right. We said we try and defend 4 past the post on this edge. Isn't that what we said? All the time as a basic rule. Anyone not defend 4 past the post as a basic rule? Anyone not told their players that? Yeah? That you're the coach. You're the coach. Just a general rule of thumb would be second rower. This might be, I'll go 5'8", centre, winger. But generally, at some stage, they need to be in that shape. Otherwise, you understand the field's 68 metres this way. So you've got 34 metres there. All right. If he continues and crabs in here, he'll push those guys across. And if he does that, you'll end up with 3 players defending 34 metres. And pretty much any of us in the room could beat 3 blokes in 34 metres in defence on their own when they're having to retreat and defend. All right, there are options for you to promote a different style of defence, right? For you to teach guys to defend short edge here with 3 against 5, dust out and dust out and dust out. And there are teams that do that. Anyone know teams that do that in the defence? In their defence at the moment, who play a defence of slide? NRL? Anyone know any? St George slide, you think? St George, I think, defend their inside first. Roosters slide. I think Roosters defend their inside and then release. There's a different thing about sliding and covering as a general rule of thumb, as opposed to everyone defend in here, and then once the ball goes past you, you release and go and get the other guys. No one knows of any? It was only a question. I don't. There are, all coaches teach your outside backs, from your back row across, how to get up and play slide defence if they do and buy a bit of time. But most coaches that I know, their preference is you defend the inside, and when the ball goes past you, you release and you allow the next guy to release. All right, so you can then go and defend the next guy until the ball gets passed again. All right, so there's not too many that play a slide defence. I said to you that on the kick chase, I asked this guy to defend here. All right, okay, on a kick chase. On a tap, there are a lot of people who defend that way. All right. Can you think of anyone who defended that way? Cowboys? Who's Cowboys put out there? Who? Well, no.
West Tigers and North Sydney. Jason Taylor used to defend.
And Jason Taylor. Anyone else? We've isolated players. Can anyone tell me who we're isolating to protect? Half. It's not a huge. I tell you personally, if you asked Andrew Johns to go and defend there from a tap, he'd probably give you a short, sharp answer, right? Yeah. It'd probably be yep, and then he'd go and defend where he wanted to. All right. So there are a number of halves who will obviously not want to be there, but why are you trying to protect them? All right. They're going to get hammered from a set play. All right, and they're probably not just going to get hammered on the first play, but one of the techniques would be if I use, if I say this is a structure, and it's not the structure anymore, but if I go to the way it was in 2009, if that was soured, all right, defending on that edge, the bloke who defended inside him was Ben Craig, and the guy who defended outside him was Cooper. Both extremely good defenders. Yes? Extremely good defenders. So, in order to get at him, we didn't need to get at him. You needed to occupy this bloke. Right? So he needed to engage, or if you were good enough, you engage both of them at marker, right? Which is extremely difficult. But if you're good enough, you engage them, and then on the next play, you get an opportunity to get at him. All right? And then obviously they started moving him side to side, right? And then playing him around. But if they were to use the system we just spoke about and put Soward out here and had these two together, you're probably not going to go through the brick wall there, but you're definitely going to get at him on the next play. All right, and that's not saying that he's a poor defender. I've got not calling into question any of that, but they're techniques that coaches look at in setting up their defensive system. And most of you here were happy that you need your halfback to do a job in the team. And if he's going to struggle in defence and it's going to wear him out, then obviously you need to come up with options for you to put him in the team in a defensive situation. All right? Someone had their hand up. Yep.
I was going to say, you had 20 tap. Do you ever set up a defence for the option, the upper option and the optional restart being the kick, if they kick and find touch?
The only... we got caught out last year against the Warriors 20s. Yeah. So answer to that is the fullback for us in all our defence is to go to the 20 tram and direct from there. And the reason that he goes to the 20 tram and directs from there is that he should have no more than 4 blokes in there in the tap. All right, so he's standing there going, you push in 1, 2, 3, he's there on that and stops everyone jamming over in here to make the play.